When you go to PDs, sometimes you think, am I getting the information out of this from somebody who's had the hands-on experience? And you know straight away, Tarun has been in classrooms.
Hi, I'm Tarun Stevenson, Behaviour Management Coach and founder of Karma Classrooms. Every week we hear from teachers who feel overwhelmed and ill-equipped to deal with the escalating behaviour that they find in their classrooms. At Karma Classrooms, we work with teachers to help them establish and maintain effective behaviour management strategies so that they can spend more time teaching and less time managing negative behaviour in the classroom.
We get a lot of beginning teachers coming to us, and they come straight from university and they haven't had any behaviour management experience whatsoever.
Teaching back 20 years ago is a lot different to teaching now. There's a lot more pressure on children, there's a lot more pressure on families, time is short, society's moving faster, and if you work in certain areas, you've got all this other stuff that's happening outside of school as well.
When I first started teaching, I felt completely overwhelmed by the behaviour in my classroom, and I felt hopeless as a teacher in trying to get on top of it. In fact, I was so hopeless, my principal even told me so. She said, "Tarun, you look great on paper, but I don't think you're a very good teacher." After 6 months of trying everything I knew to try and manage the behaviour in my classroom, I was defeated and I was ready to quit teaching. If you feel like that, the good news is it doesn't have to stay that way. With a little bit of guidance and a lot of practice, you can become really effective at managing behaviour in your classroom.
I work at a local high school as a master teacher, and that means that I am supporting teachers in their development of their pedagogical practices. But in order to do that, the challenge is that sometimes the behaviour management is a concern as well. Tarun lays it out in a way that it starts here and it ends here, and you can do this.
My biggest challenges in regards to behaviour management when I first started would be learning how to deal with the emotional instability of some of the children and how the smallest thing or the smallest trigger can really create a big effect.
Behaviour management really comes down to these 5 essential strategies. The first is you need to be able to establish clear expectations in your classroom. The second is you need to be able to maintain and follow through on those expectations. The third is you need to develop effective routines that will help to minimise disruptive and escalating behaviour in your classroom. The fourth one is understanding the function of behaviour. Behaviour is never the point, it's always designed to achieve something else. And lastly, but most importantly, you need to know how to develop effective, strong relationships with your students. Good relationship underpins everything you do in behaviour management.
So I currently work in a high school in Southeast Queensland, where I'm the Dean of Junior Secondary. Working with Tarun gave me an idea on how to approach classroom management skills with teachers that's not an overwhelming approach, breaking it down into simple steps, manageable parts that the teachers can then feel confident.
So since working with Tarun, I've definitely seen some better results in how I manage certain students. Looking back from term 1 to term 4, the way that I manage that child has dramatically changed the way that that child now interacts within that classroom.
Previously, it's been more about, here's a behaviour management technique, use this. But Tarun is able to provide that reasoning behind why the student is displaying those behaviours, as well as the practical side of, here are some strategies you can try in order to enable that student to manage their behaviour better.
To make this easier for you and your school, we've developed 3 ways that you can actually grow in your behaviour management practice. The first one is you can access our online course, Behaviour Management Essentials. This is designed to be a self-paced course where you can work individually or as a team through the strategies that I've just mentioned. The second is you can attend one of our live workshops. We regularly run workshops throughout Australia, and you can attend one of the live workshops individually or with your team, and learn behaviour management essentials with me personally. And the third way is we can actually come to your school and work with you to design a coaching and a professional development program that will equip your teachers in the areas that are specific to your school context.
Tarun comes into our school and he's able to gather this group of beginning teachers and talk to them about behaviour management. It helps them to understand why behaviour management is important and how to utilise strategies to manage a classroom.
The PD really helped me to see the issues that I was having within the classroom and I guess giving me the strategies to deal with those issues. As a first year teacher, you don't really have that toolbox of strategies built up because you're new to the job and you're still trying to figure your way through certain things. Since working with Tarun, I definitely feel more confident in my behaviour management. Even if it doesn't necessarily work straight away, I'm now aware of why that situation maybe didn't go right, what I can do for next time, and what strategies I can use if that strategy didn't work.
Hundreds of teachers have seen their behaviour management practice transformed through the training and the coaching of Calmer Classrooms. I truly believe that you too can be one of those teachers.
Even after all my years of experience and even in the role that I'm currently in, I found that incredibly affirming for one thing, and also it makes behaviour management seem simple.
Seeing him work even in my own classrooms with my kids gave me the confidence to go, he knows what he's talking about. I would highly recommend Tarun to other schools and teachers.
So if someone was considering going to one of Tarun's PDs, I would definitely recommend it. As a beginning teacher especially, you definitely need to go.
Join them, register on the site, and become the teacher that I know you can be.